On this note, we would like to welcome you all to MAXIM's annual marketing conference for 2020.
We would like to inform you the flow of events for today. We will start by introducing the moderator, followed by the introduction of all the guests. Each of the guests will speak for 20 minutes each. Post, we will have a Q&A session. The moderator will then summarize the content and the event will conclude with the launch of challenge.
We request the audience to follow basic hygiene instructions. Please keep your phones in silent and avoid moving inside the auditorium.
The moderator for today is Dr. Krishna Das Gupta. Dr. Krishna Das Gupta is a professor of marketing at XIM Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, India. Her research articles have appeared in journals such as the Journal of Public Affairs, Journal of Internet Commerce, Production, Management and Labor Studies, South Asian Journal of Management, the Journal of Decision Makers, CMS Management Review, and many others. She has also offered trainings on customer service, the ultimate goal, part of Multiple One program of IOCL. Ma'am, we welcome you and request you to kindly accept the bouquet as a token of our gratitude and kindly take your seat at the desk.
Our first guest for the day is Mrs. Manisha Singh, Deputy Manager at Adobe, a leader with a passion for tech at the nexus of customers and companies. Utilizing technology and data, Mrs. Manisha Singh is currently working with a high-performance team, ensuring a smooth flow of innovation and efficiency. With her leadership skills in strategy, execution, and digital space, ma'am has been a value addition to firms like Avalon Consulting and IBM in the past. We are honored by the presence of the remarkable Alana, whose journey from these hallowed halls to extraordinary professional accomplishments serves as an inspiration to us all. Now we request you to accept bouquet as a token of appreciation.
In a career spanning over 12 years, Mr. Devakar has been a part of XIM Group as a general manager where he headed B2B business development for non-woven consumer product division. Currently, Mr. Devakar is serving as a business development team lead at Reliance Industries Limited. So leads your B2B2C business development for branding, identifying and catering customers' unmet needs. Being an alumnus of Symbiosis International University, Mr. Devakar has inspired students and industry experts alike. With a knack for creating value for his business, Sir has become an epitome of brilliance. It is an honor to have you here, sir. Sir, we welcome you and request you to accept the book as a token of our gratitude and request you to kindly take your seat at the desk. As for our first speaker, Mr. Karthik Subramanian, Head of Brand Marketing at Raymond. With a career spanning over 16 years, Mr. Subramanian has worn many hats in product, sales and marketing. He has created and led high-performance teams and turned around business units to growth and profitability. He has also worked with Godrej, Pidilite, Jet Airways, Hershey's and Britannia in the past. So believes in design thinking, which led them to launch the breakthrough product, Goodnight Pasta. Mr. Subramanian have also featured in the 40 under 40 March 2020 edition. We are amazed by the presence of our illustrious analyst who has traversed the realms of knowledge and experience. So, we welcome you and request you to kindly accept the bouquet as a token of gratitude and take your seat at the desk. brand manager and a credit as well as sales. We specialize in strategic partnerships and alliances, business development and marketing. We are proud to have a community who once walked the same corridors and sat in the same lecture halls as us today. So we welcome you and request you to accept the bouquet as a token of our gratitude and kindly take a seat at the end.
With your remarkable experiences, we look forward to this opportunity to gain valuable insights that will help us kickstart our careers. In a garden of knowledge, nurturing the sapling is the first step to fruitful bonding. Each year, we at MAXIM start off this auspicious event by watering saplings. We invite all our respected guests, our moderator Krishna ma'am and the MAXIM coordinator Reena Krishna to mark the beginning of the event by watering the saplings.
Consumer expectations pushes us to innovate, ensuring that our products not only meet immediate requirements, but also contribute to a broader narrative of responsible consumption. Thus, in the era of conscious consumerism, the intersection of customer expectations, thoughtful product design, sustainability, and an ever-adapting approach is where brands find both relevance and enduring relevance. We now request Krishna ma'am to officially declare the conclave open. Ma'am, we would like you to do the honors and introduce the topic for Mercatique 2023.
Very good afternoon. First of all, big thank you for all this that we have sparing us Saturday afternoon on 20 December, which is a very pleasant month and a pleasant part of the year, which is not mean. So Saturday means the whole Saturday goes away in the conclave and then going back to their homes for another half of the Saturday. So extremely big thank you for making it and wanting to share the insights with the students on duality. So happy to be with you. And we have three alums. They are feeling absolutely at home. So they are regulating with the new changes. So yeah. So to start with the topic of design thinking, role of design thinking in marketing, especially for brand building. So if you look at design thinking, the new approach, which is talking about product experience, customer journey, etc. So if you look at the timeline of design thinking, how old it must be in concept? Anyone? 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? So it started emerging way back in 1940 when many of studies of psychology, where it was talking about creative ways of problem solving. That's the time of design thinking was first talked about. And then design thinking became a sort of more oriented exactly? Is it enhancing the competitiveness of the organization? So from the supply side, for experiences, how are we taking the design thinking journey to get clients? We have with us the best revenue speakers from Godrej. We have speakers from Reliance and CD, from whom we would like to know what is their implementation experience, what are the challenges, what are the bottlenecks, in the pre-design thinking and post-design thinking, does it make a discernible change in the way organization is creating impactful experience? Are there any KPIs that is measuring the impact of the design thinking? So probably these would be the discussion points which would like to hear from them. Per speaker, I think we have 20 minutes. So without taking much time of yours, the whole platform is there. So we go individually first, and then after that we have a Q&A session. And then we summarize. Is that fine? So,
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, Krishna ma'am. This clearly captured the essence of today's meeting. We would now like to invite our first speaker for the day, Mrs. Manisha Singh, to share her wisdom with us on today's meeting.
While the mic is being arranged, I know we have such an enthusiastic audience. Let's instill some more energy into the audience. Are you all ready for it? More enthusiastic, yes. Okay, let's do a quick 35-second activity, okay? I will say one, and you all get up from your feet. You don't have to move anywhere around, just get up and point to anything inside this room. So, for example, you point to the wall, but you don't call that wall the wall, you have to call it something else. You have to call it a table, you have to call it the chair, whatever you want to do. Okay? Fair enough, clear, very simple. Done? One. Voice is out, guys. Voice is out and tell it to your partner who is sitting next to you. Done? You can now be seated. Good enough? I don't ask you that. You won't answer it. So how do we expose it to point at something else and call it something else? It is difficult to come with a resistance from your brain, from your body in general, call it something else. The reason why we did this exercise, apart from instilling some more energy in all of you, was that how difficult is the innovation process, or if you look at it and from a third person's perspective, how difficult it is to keep things. You will need some resistance, you will need some resistance. And why we talk about this is that one of the processes which eases out the entire thinking process or the innovation process is the design thinking approach or the methodology, which we will be talking, all of us will be talking in greater detail over the next course of our. So we'll start with a very quick video and then we'll delve deeper into design thinking concepts. Can we start with the video, please? So this video talks about how cars 24. Have you all heard about cars 24? Yes.
So he was saying that मेरे डैड मुझे मेरी कार डीलरशिप पे बैठा दिया उन्होंने और मुझे अपना काम करने देते और वो कह रहे यूज कार now problem ठीक है but I follow ठीक है गाड़ी क्या बोले यार डीलर पे गाड़ी नहीं तो मैं ये बताऊँ कैसे मैं गाड़ियाँ दे सकता हूँ बट गाड़ी आती है बड़ा सारा सीन में गाड़ी खुल जाती है एक्सेट्रा सो कोई आते नहीं गाड़ी मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है बिकॉज कस्टमर से ही आती है कस्टमर का मन है बाहर बेचना है अभी लोकल गाड़ी को बेच देता है डीलर को बेच देता है कभी अपने कार्ड में होता है तो नहीं सो देन वी सेड ओके ही शॉट फॉर सप्लाई मैंने मेरे को मुझे बताया मुझे ये क्षमता नहीं था मैंने उसको बताया कि उसको बता रहा हूँ मतलब मुझे साउंड का सप्लाई का उसको थोड़ा सा काम है तो एक डीलर से मिलने गए हम जो भी रहते हैं तो डीलर से मिलने गए और उसने आके हमने पूछा कि सर आपने सप्लाई प्रॉब्लम से क्या नहीं सप्लाई प्रॉब्लम है गाड़ियाँ लगवा दो गाड़ियाँ करिए अब देखो आप कस्टमर बैठे हुए बंदा आधे घंटे से बात कर रहे हैं मई टाइम जाएगा ऑर्डर स्टेज ऐसा फिर ही गेट्स अ फोन कॉल एंड जस्ट लीव्स राइट एकदम से बहुत चल एंड कोई छोटू बैठा हुआ है टेबल और इसको क्या करें एकदम से आ जाएगा एकदम से बस टॉपिंग वाज सो नाइसली एंड गिविंग अस ऑल डाउन ऑन द इंडस्ट्री वो सर को रिलाई होगी काफी वो कार लेने गए तो मुझे नहीं तो दैट्स व्हाट ही नॉट सेइंग दैट बट हिज एक्शंस वर मिररिंग व्हाट माय फ्रेंड वाज आल्सो सेइंग यस अप्लाई इज द प्रॉब्लम तो फिर हमको थोड़ी एक्साइटमेंट हुई फिर हम कैसे थोड़ा और काम करते हैं फिर हमने तब तक कुछ 5-10 किलो से मिले थे फिर हमने उनको थोड़ी देर में लेके गए अपनी गाड़ी में बोल दी तो पीछे रख गए सब कहाँ आके गाड़ी लगा जाता हूँ बैड एक्सपीरियंस बट वेरी एक्टिवली चेंजिंग एक्सपीरियंस आई गेस दैट आई कुड करेक्ट और क्या कुछ भी डालते हो तो बेचने तो पागलों में आपको कॉल है पागलों में कॉल है यू नो व्हाट यू वांट So that industry को मिलके ये प्रॉब्लम है then he thought अच्छा वो गाड़ी सेलर को गाड़ी बेचने को तो पैसे चाहिए तो ये हमको क्लियर था कि कोई वाला गाड़ी नहीं छोड़ेगा गाड़ी छोड़ दी बंगाल कर रहा है ऐसे नहीं ऐसे लोग गाड़ी लेके जाओ बाकी ध्यान दो दैट वाज नेगेटिव फीडबैक ऑफ द थिंग तो मैं गाड़ी लेंगे पहला हमारे पास पैसे राइट इन्वेंटरी का पैसे पता ही है तो गाड़ी लाइक करनी है तो बॉल जी हमने सोचा कि क्या हम ऐसा करेंगे हम कस्टमर की गाड़ी को चेक करेंगे कुछ फोटो लेंगे व्हाट्सएप पे डाल देंगे और कस्टमर से थोड़ा टाइम टाइम करेंगे कि हम आपको थोड़ी देर में प्राइस कर देंगे क्योंकि हमें और भी तरीका है और अगर हमें प्राइस मिल गई तो फिर हम ले लेंगे और फिर उस प्राइस मिल जाएगी तो बहुत स्टेशन रोड एरिया गुड़गांव में अब तो काफी ज़्यादा बात तो वहाँ पे गए कि वहाँ पे पेट्रोल वगैरह वहाँ पे कोई हम एक दो मेन रोड के पेट्रोल पंप गए तो वहाँ पे कभी चाहिए यहाँ पे क्या करना पैसे लेंगे पैसे लेंगे तो वी वेंट है वहाँ पे पेट्रोल होती है ऐसे में आता है खाली आता है और मेन में ना करें कि 40-50 जो पेट्रोल भरा है तो एक सेलर होता है जस्ट हाउ द नंबर्स ऑफ मतलब लैंड ऑफ कार सेलर 10 में से एक बंदा एटलीस्ट एक साल का एक 4 मिलियन का 50 मिलियन का है तो 10 में से एक जो है साल भर तो महीने में 10 एक 40 में से एक ये से पता लगा कि ये 40-50 लोगों से मिले तो एक को सेलर मिलेगा तो हमने 200-250 लोगों से मिले सेलर मिलेंगे और जो गाड़ी बेचने के फोटो होते हैं सब आई थिंक पूरा डिक्शनरी का फोटोज दे दो सब वो फोटोज वगैरह देके हमने व्हाट्सएप पे डालना शुरू किया और यूजर्स को बढ़ा दिया वो तुरंत गाड़ी दे ऑलरेडी मैं बोला आपने अच्छे फोटो देखिए मैंने गाड़ी देखी मुझे समझ आ रही है ये रहा भाई आपका गाड़ी पास हो गया
So the idea of showing this video was and how to make it. Thank you. So why and how much distinguish design thinking from all other processes? All other processes know the techniques that you would hear or see going forward. Lay emphasis, a lot of emphasis on either the process or technology or innovation or the engineering skills. That's some other kind of skills. Design thinking is the only tool or technique which places a lot of emphasis on human empathy, on human side of things. What kind of things that you are hearing from your customers? What is their reaction? What is their operation? Like in this case, I'll take a step backwards and talk about the story of Class 24. Before these guys started Class 24, they had a paid startup called Shaft Furnish. And from that paid startup, they had one learning. The demand is not, and Shaft Furnish was exquisite, high-end furniture, online furniture selling business. And thank you. We had one learning from that. Demand is not at all a problem in India. What's the problem is in supply side. Getting furniture from China, Vietnam, Malaysia, and all other places was a challenge. And the primary reason why these guys failed was they were not able to get the appropriate supply of furniture. So that was a very key learning. So when this next idea was growing in their head, and how it started growing, when this guy came back from his MBA, immediately dropped off and came back and wanted to buy a second-hand car. It was a challenge, it was a hassle. He knew it was a problem. Now, you just can't go by your that feeling that मुझे problem है तो सभी को problem होगा. No, that's not the case. He went and corroborated this kind of, is it purely a challenge with not just the end consumers but also the dealers. And dealers, if you heard the interview nicely, he said, when I asked the dealer, is getting cars a problem? He said, no, it's not a problem. But the moment he got a call, he just ran. Which means that something that was a problem, which means it was not getting the cars supplied so conveniently, it was either being sold through the unorganized channel. कि कार को बोल दिया मुझे गाड़ी बेचनी है, फ्रेंड को बोल दिया मुझे गाड़ी बेचनी है, जो खरीदना है तो बता देना. That kind of unorganized space was happening. So in design thinking, one of the key principles is that you have to research your users' needs very, very well. So here they place a lot of emphasis on the user research, and you have to get your hands dirty. That you cannot do anything sitting in one corner of your office, sitting in front of your laptop. You have to go, you have to get down to the business and understand what your consumers' pain points are, what their need is, not just the pain point, but also what their need is. It's only when you go out into the field that you will explore it. So once that all that empathize and defining of the problem happened, the ideation happened. कैसे करेंगे? Let's become consolidated. And when we are consolidating all the needs of all the people who want to sell their cars, and then we would be an intermediary and go and sell it to the dealers. That was the idea. Prototype. One of the very key components of design thinking is prototype fast. That fast thing is not really mentioned everywhere on the internet when you go and find things. One of the key principles is to fail fast. If you have to fail fast. You cannot sit on your idea for 1 year, for 6 months and see, okay, when I build a beautiful app, then I launch it, then I test it, then I do a soft launch. No. Like in this case, they did not wait to build an app. They just went ahead and started sending the pictures across, identified somebody who could tell me an overall condition of the car and started sending pictures to the dealers. And then dealers and the demand started coming in. So that's the kind of prototyping fast is what I mean. And then testing. And prototyping fast doesn't mean that you're building a prototype, you leave it at that. You have to continuously improvise. So design thinking is a cyclical process. It just doesn't stop at one place. It has to happen continuously. You ideate, then you again do some research to find out if it's working well, if it's not working well, if it's not working well, what needs to be done. Okay, so are the steps of design thinking clear? I'll ask you questions towards the end to see how big all of you are. Okay, I don't get that okay from all of you when I'll ask you that 5 steps. Is it? Okay. Okay. Now I'll very quickly talk about some business transformation stories. Before I start talking about these stories, I'll tell you a personal experience. Post-COVID, when we are traveling to Punjab, I did not stay in Punjab, and when we travel, we stop taking the train, we prefer to go by car, and it's a good 7-8 hours journey. In that 7-8 hours journey, there's one petrol pump which is fixed where we'll take the stop, get the petrol refill done, and then move on. And you know why we stop always at that particular petrol pump? The reason is that there's a big MACD adjacent, right adjacent to it. I don't have to take any such, any detours, and we just land up, you get a refill done, and you land up at the MACD. So the petrol tank is full, the kids are happy with their happy meal, the bladders are happy with their comfortable and it's in the proximity of a petrol pump, and all of that I can have a complete package at one go. That's my assumption. It could be wrong, it could be right. Now I'm sure seeing the Shell logo and hearing my story, you would have started doing the maths of plus 2 addition. Shell में भी ऐसा ही कुछ किया होगा. Before I enter into the Shell story, I tell you something. Some statistics. Shell petrol is premiumly priced as compared to a IOCL or BPCL of the world. But if you look at the user retention numbers of Shell, it is higher than IOCL and BPCL of India. And in a customer sensitive, in a cost sensitive market like India, where if the petrol prices are to hike by 1 rupee, there's a long queue the night before at the petrol pump. That number of a high user retention number is a significant feat. So what did Shell do? What kind of design thinking exercise did Shell do? Again, same a similar petrol pump story, not exactly for selling cars here, but here what Shell did was, to all the incoming customers, it started giving 10 cards to each of its customers. And each card had an experience written on it. That the staff is nice, you're getting XYZ services, your car cleaned, there's a coffee house. And Shell asked all the customers to rank these cards in a pecking order. Basically, essentially, what experience do you value the most? And then the result of all of this exercise consolidated together is the Shell that you see today. The staff, whenever you enter the Shell petrol pump, you will always be greeted with a hello, namaste. Your car will get cleaned without any looks of greed that they are expecting something in return, a tip in return from you. We have a coffee house. Most of these Shell houses have a coffee house and a shopping mall attached to it, and a very clean toilets as well. That's also one of the things which people are talking a lot about, that why we go to this Shell petrol pump. So overall, all these experiences added together, and not just this, it kept on improvising. It launched this app for every time you do a refill, you get points, and you can exchange those points for a cup of coffee or something that you buy from their shopping mall. So big brands are using this at a very strategic level to build a strong user retention. Design thinking is being used. Not just at a strategic level, my next example for the reason of confidentiality. I can't name the code editing app or the feature, but this example talks about at a very tactical level, at a very ground level also, how design thinking is applied. Now, I'm told, I don't have an experience, but I'm told that if you take pictures from Instagram, it comes out to be much more better than if you take pictures from your camera. I don't know, is it true? Yes? No? Okay, people are agreeing. So, yes. So basing on this premise, a lot of photo editing apps have come up, which the university of which is that they'll fine tune the picture, they'll remove the background, and lots of other things that they can do. So this particular photo editing app has a feature which removes blemishes and makes the skin look smoother. For the sake of discussion, let's call this feature redo, right? When the brand asked its users to text, and they were recording the screen, that why don't you use redo feature and let us know how the experience is. So first, when people were not up, nobody was going to this feature particularly because nobody understood what is the role of this particular feature. But when the brand specifically asked, why don't you test out the redo feature and give us the feedback, people started testing it. And everybody had no clue what this app is supposed to do. But because they were asked to do, they just kept moving their fingers on the screen, on the image. So what happened? What happened was, when they moved the finger on the nose was vanished. When they moved the finger on the eyes became like 4 or 5, 6 size. They started having 5, 6 size. So that was the kind of because of the auditing experience. Instead of beautifying the picture or beautifying the image, the feature was doing just the opposite. So what did the company do, or what did the product team do? They identified two big problems here. One, people were unable to understand what is the role of this app, what is it supposed to do. And second, they didn't know why this is happening, that why the nose is getting married, why the ears are getting married whenever you move a stroke on the image. So one thing that we did was the moment you use that open that feature for the first time in the app, it pushed a small in-app notification saying that this is the work, this is the role of this app. It will remove the blemishes, it will smoothen your skin, it will make you look more beautiful. Once that thing was clear, the second thing that they did was you will see this small blue button here at the bottom. So this was the brush size. The default brush size was set as very high. So people didn't know that this was the brush size and the default brush size is set as very high, and that's why when that stroke was made, it was coming as it was giving a horrific output. So the team did a very small change. They changed the brush size to a very optimal to where you can see as of today. Now, when a finger is moved, then it gives a very smooth result. And after implementing this very small changes, the app, this particular feature was registered a 20% increase in the usage, and also the download rate increased pretty significantly. So the idea is to tell that it's not at the leadership level, it's not at the strategic level always that design thinking happens, it's also at the ground level. When you're working in your teams together, when you join companies, when you're working in these various teams, you will find situations where you can apply design thinking approach on a day-to-day basis. Who's the timekeeper here? How much time do I have? Any time changes here? 5 minutes? 7 to 10 minutes? Okay. So I'll very quickly talk about the Airbnb example. Airbnb as an example, I'm sure I've heard that you people have design thinking in your third term, and then you will take that course, I'm sure you'll come across this example. But very quickly, whenever you're booking a hotel or an Airbnb, what are the couple of things that you really look into before finalizing on a hotel or an Airbnb room? Price, cleanliness, ratings, okay, location, staff service, pricing. Okay. So yes, a couple of things that you always look at. One is the pricing, how beautiful is the property, what is the proximity, for example, what is the proximity to Xavier Job, to the master canteen, etc. And what are the kind of ratings people have given. So when Airbnb had launched in 2009, it was having a revenue of $200 per week, and this revenue was absolutely flat. The founders thought that they could have a hockey stick graph of revenue. So this was an amazing breakthrough idea that they had. Nobody had brought it at that point in time, but the numbers were not good that lofty. So what did they do? All three of them sat together and there were 40 listings that they had to themselves, and they started browsing through all the listings. And one of the things one commonality that they found across all the 40 listings was the images were really shoddy. It was click, and you can imagine in 2008-9, the picture industry or the image industry had not revolutionized to the extent the way it is right now. So if you could have taken a picture from your camera, not a professional, from your phone camera, the kind of quality was nowhere to lure a customer to your property. So what they did was they got down, they invested in a sophisticated professional camera, went to each of the properties, clicked each and every section of the property, and then listed it. That was the first step that they did. And within a week's time, their revenue almost tripled. One small change one small observation, and they kept on improvising. They kept adding things like how far is it from the key tourist attractions, how far is it from the main locations, etc. And that really, and every week, if you really go deep into, there are multiple things or multiple changes that Airbnb did from a design thinking perspective, which led Airbnb to what it is today. So, how are leaders in product space transforming their businesses? So, this is something that I wanted to talk about from a company's perspective. What are the product companies? Because I belong to a product company, I work for a product company at Adobe. So, what are the leaders in this space? And Adobe is clearly a leader in the product space. So, at a high level, I wanted to talk about the approach that we take in transforming the businesses and how, while we might not always call it design thinking, sometimes in the product terminology we call it agile methodology, but design thinking is the basic premise on which we rest on. One of the very key things for each of our products that we do is that we hear our customers. We hear them out really well. Extensive research goes into each and every product that Adobe develops. And that is the reason we are either number one or number two in the market in whichever product space that we are into. And you would hear a lot about raising the bar high, but Adobe believes in lowering the bar for its customers, lowering the entry barrier. And to give a very a real life example, Photoshop, I'm sure you have heard. Yes. So much Photoshop is used so much so that it has now started becoming used like a work. Photoshop कर दिया होगा image. मतलब किसी भी app से edit किया Photoshop कर दिया होगा, which is a good thing for any company. So what Adobe realized by listening to its customers was that Photoshop as a product is meant only for designers and people who can get into the complications of the hundreds and thousands of features that a Photoshop offers. But somebody like you and me, who's an Instagram feed or a Snapchat feed, who just wants to use some basic filters to make a nice image, they knew that they have to enter into the mobile space. Right? So how do they do that? They created a rip-off of Photoshop for mobile, but it will not have, it still does not have thousands of features. The idea was to lower the entry barrier so that people like you and me can use the app. Very simple thing, remove background, multiples of filters available, collage feature available, etc. So those are the kind of things that we do. Also, one of the things, if you really go into Adobe history, that you realize is that you might not always be the first ones to enter the market in any space. In the AI space also, let's assume, because there's a lot of discussions about AI happening these days. So in the AI space, we took our time, but the reason why we take our time is that we ensure that each of our products are commercially viable, are legally viable. These are the two key aspects that we lay a lot of emphasis on. And because I'm talking about commercial viability and legal viability, the other thing which I would like to highlight here is that a company or a product doesn't become successful just on design thinking, right? Because we are talking about design thinking doesn't mean that this is the only thing. If you have to become successful, this is the mantra. It's a combination of a lot of other things as well. You need to have a strong people quotient. You need to have these strong technologies. It's the assimilation of everything together which helps you be the leader in that space. So and also what Adobe does is that we have a very, when you have a huge employee base, which is so creatively bent, which has so many engineers, which have so many use cases growing up in their mind, the soft launches can easily happen within the company. Right? For few of the products that before we launch into the market, we launch the beta version for the employees alone for them to give feedback. And there have been instances where the product has been modified because when related to religion, caste, color, etc. It was not showing the right picture, and it was immediately corrected so that it would not fall into that trap. So a team can be how big? 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people at that. But when that 100 people's brain can only think just so much, can think only till X number of use cases. But when that 100 number gets multiplied by 10 times, obviously the number of use cases which come to you, the kind of errors which crop up, the kind of prompts which are given to the tools are also getting multiplied by that level. So that's also one of the approach that we as a company take. So all of these factors have helped us becoming one of the leaders, and that's the approach we take while building any product, serving our customers well, identifying our customers' needs, and lowering the bar for entry. Now you might be thinking, this is the first year, I intend to take finance, I intend to take HR operations going forward in future, but design thinking is very relevant from a marketing perspective. What is in it for me? Is it just like one of the tick marks that I am doing here? So what I want to call out here is that there's something in it for everyone. Don't think it from a perspective that it's only from marketing. For people who want to do HR, the employees of the organization are your customers. For somebody who wants to do finance, how the company plans to go out in future. What is from a operations perspective, from a scale perspective, what is the kind of impact that it will have from a finance perspective? That is also very, very crucial. And that it is a power, it's a tool in your hand, and it is totally on you how you want to utilize it, how effectively you want to make use of it. Well, that's all I had to say. And in this world of AI, it's very difficult to ignore that aspect. But AI at least has not penetrated into the human aspect, and that is one of the cores of design thinking. And just keep that in sync with AI, and I'm sure you'll do wonders. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an interesting and insightful talk and sharing your experience on the topic. Our next speaker is Mr. Mukul Devagar. We request him to kindly share his insights and today's course.
Before I get down there and start my presentation, I would like everybody, I hope everybody is here. Moksha has done a very good exercise of telling each other what you see and so on. I hope that is still working. But I want all of you to open 3 websites on your phone. I hope that you will here. No phones? Oh, okay. So I'll open 3 websites. So you go through these websites, you spend 2-3 minutes on these 3 websites, and at the end of the presentation, we will again revisit those websites. So, the 3 websites that I'm going to talk about is one is REAM. REAM is Reliance website. Reliance was exclusively into polyester. So REAM is their website which focuses on performance-oriented fibers. They say that this is a sustainable product, this is a tech-driven product, and this is for fashion. Okay, you could just go through. Sorry. Yeah. Spend maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I don't know. I didn't know you don't have phones. So yeah, that's very good. So this is the first website. One more time is there, I think. Yeah. So this is their media and okay. Then we come to the second website. The second website is called is from Performance. Performance is a brand of Reliance Retail. They are in activewear, and their We are focusing on sports as a category where the idea is to selling the fabrics. Here they are not selling fiber, they are selling fabrics, and they are selling fabrics to activewear. Now, if you just go to about this category there. Yeah, so just go through it. They are saying something very big word. You guys doing advertising here. So you can come down and you can listen to it. Our real world is found in accessible. World is designed to support and equip the athletes. And at the heart of it, so down. We have an experiment, a life experience, every athlete's fitness journey. Okay, so this is what Performax is saying. You will have to take the product category of Performax also. Product category. Okay, so fairly broad product category. Is it able to, I don't know, we're not able to see it, but they are addressing different sports, different things. Yoga, you can see yoga, you can see women kids activities, and different products. Okay, and there is a special column for the athletes, and then you come to the website of Athleta. So Athleta is exclusively focusing on women's activity. You go to the website carefully. It says that we are women's activewear. Now, activewear includes everything. Activewear, as a performance, includes different sports. They focus only on different types of sports: hiking, boxing, cycling, swimming. Only for women of all ages. If you come very down, you see little R values there. R values. Think about this. Down. Yeah. Second. Yeah. So, okay. So, they are saying that our mission is to ignite the limitless potential of all women and girls. So, this is what Kalita is saying. So, these are the three communications. I know, since you have to remember this website, unfortunately, now for next 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we started at 4:50. So I'll be again visiting around 5:20 again. So with these premises, what we will be doing is I'll share with you insights about design thinking, branding, and we will revisit these websites again. And we will try to do some forums from counter or offset. But I hope it will help ultimately. So thanks for having me here. And next slide. It's a pleasure being present in front of crowd and all this professors. This is what we discussed. Next slide. So primary observations, keep it with yourself. Attention span is low nowadays, but I'm sorry you have to work with this. So design thinking, you must have had a course on it, so I'm sure you will not go through a detailed presentation of mine. But specifically, human-centric, non-linear, iterative approach to problem solving. So it's a problem solving approach, and it's originated very recent, 2 to 3 decades back, and it focuses on every step is important. It's human-centric, so person is important. It's non-linear. So although it's a process oriented, but still you can revisit your assumptions again, you can ideate again, you can prototype again, you can test it. And it's iterative, so it has to be repeated. So you have to make your hypothesis, you have to check the process, and you have to repeat. Make, check, repeat. The basic, or I would say the cornerstone here is empathy. And why empathy is because it's human-centric. And whenever humans are involved, you have to have empathy. Now, the difference between empathy and sympathy, I'm not going to go into those technicalities. But empathy is basically you have to connect that person into really issues. And this is where design thinking is very, very important. Branding, I'm sitting before second year MBA students, so I need not tell what is branding. Brand is perceived value of their product, branding is strategic create, and brand management. So, design thinking and branding, are they together? Both are two different streams, both originated at different times. design thinking fairly new. Brand strategy, I am told it goes back to second millennium. That Parthenon is still fighting. Rishi Sunak is Prime Minister. So look at the brand. And they have different paths, different tools, in fact different goals also. And they also totally different. But they are thinking, Kunka Mela Lakshya Vichaya Hue, they are starting to find each other now. So how they are finding each other? How these different two streams are coming together through their ultimate goals. So now you're a business student, you must be knowing what is business value creation. You hear this term until number of times in your career. So business value creation is their ultimate goal, and this is how they are communicated. How are they creating value? Creating value through interaction, relationships, and experience. So there has been a long journey. Brand has moved from differentiation to empowerment, and design thinking moved from design objects to design complex systems. In fact, first project of design thinking was on design product. I'm sure you saw about the IO case study where they designed shopping cart. If you talk to any R&D, PhD person who is currently my boss, so they always talk about interfaces, and they believe innovation happens at interface. So how to innovate? They don't innovate in a single direction. They innovate where two technologies are interfacing. So action always happens at interface. And what is this action that design and brand strategy? So we call this as a brand experience strategy. So brand experience design. So you are experiencing that. You understand these words? Because it involves both aspects. It involves design and it involves brand strategy. So it's essentially understanding customer needs and desires and designing those experiences that meet or exceed their expectations. So you internalize this statement because it may sound a little repetitive, but it's basically creating an emotional connect between customers and brand. To very simply, customer is a user of a brand, and you have to create that connection with your customer through experience. And this is where it is different from a primary research or a secondary research or typical branding exercises where you have focus groups, you have economic. So the important point here is emotional connect. And this is why design thinking is required. If there is no emotional connect, you don't need design thinking. So brand experience design is basically providing customers with positive and memorable experiences when they interact with your brand. So now, why you should have a good brand experience? I'll give a reason, but very simple terms. Can you tell me why should brand give a good experience? And any brand that gives negative experience, but still a good brand. Any answer?
Affect sales and then affect revenue.
Affects meaning.
A negative effect. That is, it will increase your sales and then.
Any example?
For example, the example that Manisha gave about Shell. So if the washrooms are clean, so a customer that visits that petrol pump will go back to the unfavorable experience.
But is there no very petrol?
I'm just giving an example of unfavorable experience. One of the other clients is I'm buying a product and the product did not work on me. So I definitely not go and buy it again. So my resell won't happen for the brand.
Correct. So ultimately, you have probably hit the basically the goal of business growth, how it will come brand loyalty. So if you are a satisfied customer, you will definitely have a reuse and you will tell this product to 10 other people that please use this. And it will happen because it will brand loyalty. So creating brand experience is very important. And how do they do it? I'm telling you a very basic stage, not too technical. This might be even 5-10% of the total brand experience design. But this is a basic framework that they understand consumer needs, they create touch points that satisfy customer needs, they put it to business strategy, and they create real-time data. Now, any example of this? Any example of this? Understanding customer needs, creating touch points to satisfy. So you have got design thinking, you got branding, you are blending it with business strategy, and you are capturing the data. Yes?
We are really doing that. If you scroll for some time and you still haven't ordered it, or there's an automatic pop-up where it will choose for you to give you some ideas as to what you can order and then it will category.
But it is still giving you options.
There's also an option for surprising where it just goes to a restaurant and which you frequently order from already. If you notice, if you do that. And then most of the time you find yourself ordering from there because you're very tired of scrolling. This wasn't there earlier.
Okay. I'll give you an example of this in my choice menu ATM. In early 2000, this last decade, 2012-13, they had come up with this idea of choice money. This was the era before ATM and UPI, where people used to do ATM, and they didn't have control over denominations what they got. So I want to so much change, but I'm getting what 500 rupees. I don't want it. I'm not in control of my denominations. So they identified a customer need that a customer doesn't have control over the denominations. So what is the emotion that they are giving? They are giving a emotion of lack of control. Okay. So what is the brand touch point? ATM. I mean, for a bank, ATM is the best brand touch point. A customer is coming there, spending 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, you will experience anything. But how's the software? How's your denominations are coming? How the nodes coming? So ATM. What is the customer experience of brand having control? So customer wants control. So he can actually go and choose 50 ka itna, 100 ka itna, 100 so much. And what is the business strategy? Do it at scale. India being a very large country, so many ATMs, so do it at scale. That's the business strategy. What was the result? Business growth. You go and check this case study on Google, you will see they had phenomenal growth when they implemented this. So 2013 to 15 was a drive, was a very sunny days kind of thing for investment bank. Try to do this. So what is important is here now that you have to repeat. Design principles is that you have to repeat it consistently. Unfortunately, I don't know whether you are still getting those notes or no. But had it been continued for 10 years, it would have been a great thing to do. So just nutshell, brand experience, you get consumer needs, you involve your brand touch points with it. What are brand touch points by the way? Few examples. Brand touch points. Brand touch points are basically a logo, packaging, color, all those points where the consumer interacts with the brand. Brand touch points. So you have to design those brand touch points for positive and rewardable experience. This is what design thinking is. And you get into the brand strategy and you have to repeat it continuously. So continuous repetition, infinite loop is very important. And if there is no continuity, then sustainable brand will come. That happened with me in the SIM bank. In the SIM bank near my house, now doesn't offer any customization, although option is there. So there is no security. So I try to touch upon this subject. What is design thinking? So design thinking and brand strategy are different streams, but they are now together. They are integrating in terms of brand experience design to bring to understand customers' need, understand those expectations, and exceed those. And it should happen by chance. It should happen by design, so that it creates a sustainable business growth, sustainable brand loyalty, and of course it is more customer centric and understanding human aspect is very important, and it helps to differentiate from competitors, create value for customers, and drive business growth. Again, three websites. So five I gave it to you. So now let us understand different pairs better. Can you again go to the websites? Something. So who do you think has 10 people. You can also perform actually. Spend some time. You want to check any page and tell. And keep in mind that brand experience design is creating experiences for the customer through touch points, understanding customers' needs. Okay, so this is about performance. Again, the same things. Arina, good Arina, Arina, Arina. Have you understood customer needs? Why not? Why haven't I understood customer needs? Has Ability understood customer needs? Come to Ability. Come down. Yes, down. Okay. You think they have understood? Wow. Now, how do you think Ability has understood customer needs? How many say performance has understood customer needs? Rest all, I believe. Arla? So many of the Arla think is a good person. So, Arla, how many are Arla? Very few. So, why Africa has understood customer needs? Okay, we come to that part. So, correct, Africa has understood customer needs very well. You can say that it is only focusing on goods and women. It is not a general kind of product statement that they are making. If you see activewear brand, activewear, they are telling people what to do. They are not telling people what to do. They believe people know what to do. Come to second presentation. My slide. Yeah. So second point is identify customer needs expectations. We have seen that. So again, going to websites, and who do you think is creating that kind of experience? If you are a Advita, if you are a buyer, which website do you visit? Anybody from Manila? Don't write it up, man. It is Reliance Polyester Paper. World's largest polyester company. I won't do that. Okay, come to website. You are right, partially. Come to Athleta website. So you have to get this. Come to Athleta website, and I think yeah, go to products. Products. Any product you open, any product. Open tops, maybe. Okay. Any top you open. Okay. You open any of the. So you also tell me, Athleta website doesn't have only white model. Number one. Number two, Athleta doesn't focus only on ideal shapes. You know, it is not giving any endorsement. Serena Williams is not coming and telling you to go use Athleta because it will make you feel powerful. No, choose any of the products. Choose any of the products. Now go through the offerings. Look at the website. Go down. Every size is there in photographs. Reviews. Look at reviews. Yes, length, overall size. And customer reviews for each and every aspect of the product. So have you understood customer needs better? Now, recently you come to performance doesn't have this. Performance is typically the website that is saying if you want to become more you have to use performance. Next presentation. So who will be communication to touch points that we see touch point so we are using only website as a touch point. Which is big case if you get a idea, but particularly from the website perspective, it is emerging that communication
So that's a good point, and that's how I'm going to explain why America is better and why they are doing this. Because America is one of the case studies of IDEO, and IDEO has been driving them for how to implement design thinking in their branding. They have understood consumer needs very well. One of the consumer needs that they have listed is that American women are saying that we are already powerful. We did not be told that we are powerful. We don't need anybody, not our husband, not our sons, not our in-laws, that we are already powerful. So don't tell us, don't give us this nonsense. Number one. Number two, they spoke that one of the requirements from America that how can they be more inclusive? And the answer was that if you want to become, they asked of course focus group, they asked their consumers, they told that I have to be inclusive from two fronts. Of course, uplifting the minorities, number one, and number two, I don't want ideal shape only on the screen. Whenever you go see websites, only good places, white places, certain sizes are there. So a woman who is in what age but who is weighing maybe X double XL is not okay. She's I have also I also want to be represented there, and that's why Africa is more successful in terms of creating a good brand, creating using designing. So this is how you use designing. In creating a brand, you can refer Africa website, you can refer IDEO website for this history. Of course, disclaimer is that this is just for this presentation purpose, limited data points are there. References, websites, other website points are not considered. But overall, Authorita works out to be much better website, much better presentation. Now, I'm from Reliance, I've been working in Ireland, I've been working in Performax, I've seen Performax working, and it feels very sad that Ireland is doing this way. And you will all wonder that how Reliance was largest for this company. Why they are not doing it? They are doing it. So they are doing it, they are trying it, but it's not working out. Design thinking is not working out for them. Why? So they did it. There was a consultant that they hired, and it didn't work. Now this is the last part of my case study, and I'll just take you through 3 slides, and this is my learning that I'm going to share with you. So it's not theoretical here. See, design thinking, Reliance implemented, but one of the things that emerged was they understood that the design thinking is not a panacea. It's not a the statement or the solution. That when you implement, you get a solution. No, it's a time-consuming process. It's a resource-driven process, and it has to be done very diligently. In India, there are very limited design thinkers who really are able to come out of their own ego and understand this. It is also very limited applicability. One size doesn't fit all. So, same solution set cannot be offered to Reliance. Same solution set cannot be offered to Birla. That kind of size of companies. High degree of uncertainty. There are no known examples that design thinking is able to handle. For example, climate change. Climate change has got multiple variables. They're not sure whether they are able to handle it or not. And implementation is key. And this is where my 2 slides are going to be there. What happens in companies, big companies in Reliance, like Reliance or any company, that they are very successful in one area, but second area they are not. Why? The reason is, of course, 2 things. One is decision making. So, decision making in Indian companies or everywhere, it's a top-down approach. Management knows all. Management decides, and the management thought process, it actually percolates everything. They are all fixed success template because they have seen something working, they have seen a concept working, and they have been able to scale it, success it, so they believe that's the only template. And the solutions coming from design thinking are so diverse, are so out of box, they're not able to accept it. Third thing is cost versus benefit. So when you work in certain kind of companies, you always have a parta. You know what is parta? Parta? No, that is parda. Parda. It's not parda. Parta. So parta in a Marwari term means perfect. So they always used to understand what is parta. I said parta क्या है? कुछ नहीं parta. So if there is parta, then let's do it. If there is no parta, so rationality versus bias. These are as I told you. I mean, management knows all, and few people management, all this. So rationality at times takes a backseat, bias comes in, and biggest thing is resistance to change. So success template is so powerful that it's very difficult to get away from that. Lack of empathy, which all results in lack of empathy, and empathy is a cornerstone of design. So they have to be open. These words are not general. I'm telling you. Open and curious management is in a large scale organization. It's rare. Of course, there are reasons. It's not about for pinpointing, but the cases where design thinking might not work, we are seeing it. And I will repeat what I said it. Culture is strategy for breakfast and lunch. Who has said it? So, culture is strategy for breakfast and lunch. So, whatever you strategize, whatever you decide, whatever you follow, ultimately, if your culture is not suitable for that, you're finished. So, when you become large scale, standardization and process orientation comes into play because you have to do things certain way. Now, design thinking demands that you have to go out of way and do something, issue a PO in next 2 hours, not 2 months. The PO, I mean, the accountant says. So, this is how the standardization process is. Departmentalization is a big thing it's a very common thing in big organizations where there are silos, departmentalization, compartmentalization. So it's not easy to break that and collaborate. And again, I'm telling you, these are not just words. They are really working style. So design thinking requires very agile and nimble work. I mean, you have to be really quick, you have to be responsive. So this is ideal style, and if you see all case studies, very few are large size companies. Very few. In engineering company only I saw some come. Why? Because in the large companies, I don't know, agility and nimbleness is something that has to be explored. Sometimes there are preferences and favors. So, like case study, a person is retired and he has a very X department. So, okay, that will be a bit. But it doesn't work. So, you see, the person has to be qualified. It all results again into lack of empathy towards consumers and the conservative strategy for breakfast and lunch. So these are the 2-3 areas where Indian companies have to evolve, large companies I am saying, and they have to use design thinking very well. And this is my last slide. Is design thinking the last resort is over towards. People are saying that design thinking involves customer interactions, where a designer is talking to consumer and he is expected to have thorough understanding or empathy of consumer. But that is creating a problem. Designer has been unnecessarily privileged. There are jobs that a designer can make or break a problem. So designer has undue advantage. So let us remove this designer from the equation. So that consumers come together, they decide. Company gives them a problem, they decide. Suppose in the case of innocent bank, consumers come together and tell their bank, boss, we are not okay with this, so you please change this. So this is version 2 of design engagement when I'm talking about interpretive engagement. So it's a design process where designer is removed, step-by-step process is removed, and they are collectively interpret the understanding. So it's more open and continuously transformed. And the solutions are so radical right now that its commercialization is at a very early stage. So, but of course, the next version of design thinking is going to be where there is no designer. You can read more about in the source where the paper mentions. So that's it from my side. 5:20 I finished. I hope it was not lengthy enough, and I could hope you.
I was just checking in the model of this. Am I? While you're setting this up, have you guys heard of this company, Alice and Birds? These are high-tech companies. No? Okay. Does anybody, so I'll tell you what. Hertz was US's #1 car rental company. And Alice was really trying to dethrone it. It was very difficult because everybody knew Hertz and not many people know about Alice. Do you know what Alice's slogan was? Has anybody heard of the slogan? Alice's slogan was, "We are #2, so we try harder." And speaker #3, so I was like even harder. Very good. Yeah. I don't think I. I'm so sorry we are going through this slight difficulty. Problems entirely mine. There's nothing to do with anybody else here. I have some confidential stuff which I've been told people will shoot at me if I show it to you. I'm still taking the risk of showing it to you. I couldn't transfer my PPT earlier. So you'll have to wait for a few minutes. I think you've been through those speakers. You need a break as well. So maybe and I guess I will have to try even harder because I think Siddharth, you're up. Clearly figure out what's going to happen with my laptop. Yeah. I'll see you in a